Hey guys, welcome back to Math with Marcel. And today we're going to talk about percentages. Percentages are used every day when you go to the store and you want to know how much you're going to save when you have discounts, discounted items or stuff like that. But let's go ahead and get to the first problem. So the first problem says, what is 20% of $40? Like I said in previous problems, you can actually use ratios to solve this particular problem. But there's a simpler way that I'm going to teach you on how to solve these problems. For purposes of ratios, let's go ahead and solve this one in terms of ratios. Like I said before, when you have ratios, you have to draw your two fractions, something to something and something to something. And like I said before, you have to keep percentages on the top and money on the bottom, or vice versa. Money on the top and percentages on the bottom. So let's go ahead and set up the problem. So you have 20%, and the question is, what is 20%? So we're looking for the money. What is the money of 20%? So you have to put the 20% right on top of what you're looking for, of $40. $40 is the entire total. So $40 is gonna be your 100%. So you're gonna put 100% here, and you have $40. So remember, your total is always gonna be 100%. Okay? So let's go ahead and get to the problem. Like I said before, an unknown variable in algebra is always called, in this case, we're looking for money. Money, we're gonna call it X. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this sign, and I'm gonna put an X. Okay? So now, remember, like I said before, when you do ratios, if you haven't watched my ratios video, go ahead and watch it so you can understand how ratios work. But the rule is, once you set up the ratios, you can actually multiply across this way. Okay? So now if we multiply, it would be X, which is an unknown number, times 100. So I'm going to go ahead and write X times 100. And if I just write it like that, that's what that means. X times 100 equals, I'm going to bring down the equal sign, and then 20 times 40 is 100. Okay? So now, this is our equation. Now, in order for us to isolate the variable, you always have to divide by the number that's right next to it, by itself. And that'll get rid of it. But whatever you do to this side, you have to do the same to this side. So you divide by 100. See, now you isolated X. So if you have X left over, now 100 divided by 8, it's going to be $8. So 20% of $40 is $8. Okay? So now there's another way where you have 20%. This is the second way. Second option. 20%. You times it times 40. But you got to convert the percentage to decimal. So that means that you got to get rid of the percentage sign and your decimals right here and go back. 1, 2, because it's 100 to the hundreds. So it becomes 0.20. And if you do 0.20 times 40, that's going to give you exactly your amount, which is $8. Go ahead and plug it in on your calculator, and you'll be able to determine to get the correct answer. So all you got to do to convert the 20% to a decimal, you just got to get rid of the percentage and move the decimal 2 times this way to the left. Okay? So this is one way, and this is the most common way that students use when they're in elementary school. This is a little bit more advanced way. Okay, so there's those two ways. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the second problem. The second problem says, if $5 were a discount of a total price of $20, what percentage did I save? Okay, let's take a look at that second problem. I'm gonna go ahead and erase this and use this side of the board to solve that. Same scenario, I'm gonna go ahead and use ratios. And when I use ratios, you always follow the same process. Okay, the first ratio, if $5 were a discount of a total price of 20. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the $20 over here and the $5 here, because remember, dollars go on top, percentages go on the bottom, or vice versa, the other way around. $5 here, and I'm gonna say, well, the total price, total, remember what I said? Total always represents 100%. So that means that the 100% goes under the 20. So that's 100%. But we're looking for the percentage that you saved. So remember, we use a variable. We don't know what the percentage is. So we use X. I'm gonna go ahead and place an X here. Okay, now you can apply the rule of multiplying across. Okay, so now 20 times X is gonna be X times 20, and you just write it like that. And then 5 times 100 is gonna be 500. Okay, now remember that in order for you to isolate X, you have to divide by the same number so that they can cancel each other. But whatever you do here, you have to do over here too. So you divide by 20. I mean, you can actually get rid of 1 0, and X becomes 50 divided by 2, 25%. So $5 of $20, being that 20 is 100%, then it just becomes 25%. Okay? Alright guys, hope this helps, and please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and follow me on my videos.